the materials, the interceptive domes, to escape. So the rotaries also assist in self-balancing. The coils are solenoid Hall effects also assist in the lifting force against the weight of its gravity, and also the rotaries are supposed to react also as a coolant to send cool gusts to the other different coils and transformers that we have on the blade. And that's the beginning of the project. So geometrically, if the rotary turns here, it operates like a self-balancing. So you got a force that turns this way, then you got a force that turns this way to position the object forward. Then you got a rotary at the bottom that enables to pitch. Then you got a rotary right here at the tail that enables it to pitch or to turn and rotate like this, the entire machine. I'm also going to have a gyroscope within the cockpit to allow it to also turn the opposite way if the object is tilted that way, or painted that way, or even tilted, so it enables it to move in the cockpit. There's a small little mandatory unit. So this is my copy of what I want to do for the following drone that I'm going to manipulate out of this kind of algorithm or plan. So my name is Raymond, and goodbye. Converting and making a prototype of the Star Wars plane, spherical, with the triangle blades. I don't know its name, but I'm making a transverse type. So the horns are going to apply here for the blades along the sides, and also going to have rotaries in it. The idea is to convert this into another copy into metal, to use domes, one bottom dome, one top dome. I'm going to cut the edges the same so that they can fit suitably. I'm going to use aluminum for the bottom, I'm going to use steel for the bottom, and I'm going to use copper for the bottom. I can make it like a single-phase rectified diode, parallel voltage, by stacking the rear elements along together within the dome and making the filaments in between, so that the interceptive domes will all together, they'll bust together by being junctioned together in a chain linkage. It will give a voltage as a dome upward to the following dome, which will also give a cycle back to the unit. So a transmission from up here and a transmission back down here. These two share voltage. Now using a coiling to wrap it in a coil, a copper coil at the bottom and a copper coil at the top that is synchronized with the voltage transformer, and jump the gap. So pushing upward, where I have the first stage, which is aluminum, and the last stage, which is copper, to allow it to go this way, because both of them are being phased with the DC phase and releasing ions towards the coil, and the coil receives a flux and current and transmits to the top coil. So these bellies, just like to pretend as if these are rotary blades. The rotary blades are permanent magnets bearing capacitor within central, and around the blades are bearings of coils. The coil is wrapped around the exterior of the blade, so that it may replicate the blade as if it was made out of an entire coil of wire. That is to synchronize the horns that I'm going to have on here like a cup, and then it's going to shape like a triangle at the edges, and then create the angular wing blade at the sides. So I could be able to attach it on or take it off. So I want it to be able to pull it on, to snap it on, or snap it off. And it's going to have coils bearings on it to allow it to go upward. So I'm going to use a pancake coil, an interceptive pancake coil, to go around the rectangular triangular blades, so it's enabled to go up in the right hand rule as a phase point Lenz's law, and go upward or downward like a solenoid upward. Interceptive telescopic magnetic suspension coils. So there, the coil that I wrap like a solenoid, then I'm going to wrap interceptive coils alongside of it, so that the coil turns, wire coil turns, are more than a couple of Teslas. So that's going to be around the metallic domes. When I intercept first the bottom, a stack of domes of boron, quartz crystal, I'm going to supersaturate that so I can make a dome out of it by placing another unit, placing copper into it, a copper dome, and filling the bottom with a copper dome with little pillars that separate the parts, so that the filament of the solution of the sodium acetate, I could convert it into tetrahedron through the ectothermic process of the solution, the supersaturated quartz crystal, and add a rock pellet so it could harden the in-between boron and to copper. Then the following is germanium, and using germanium as a germanium powder and mixing it with sodium acetate, and go through the same ectothermic process to create a tetrahedron solid of the germanium, and then to follow up with that, with another interceptive dome, which is going to be copper, and then another, which is going to be quartz crystal, and another, which is going to be, I can also use silicon carbide, and exact and create a solid mixing with silicon carbide and sodium acetate, hemp-3m, to create a strong tetrahedron quartz crystal solid crystalloid mixtures with silicon carbide, and that will be actually junction to quartz, and then junction to copper, and then junction to quartz, and then junction to boron. And the boron will be the electrode that passes the current in DC phase to the top dome. And the top dome will resemble the same, and these will share currency back and forth. I will also make domes on the side and intersect the same, so that the other domes intersect the domes, bearings for rotaries. The rotaries will be permanent magnets that will also synchronize the boron dome, which is the first, fluxing the density and a Hall effect towards it, and then sending the voltage back to the end, transmitting the voltage either upward or downward depending on the size, having a switch in between the remote to control to send more power to charge. The rotary will rotate around, also operate as a gyroscope. The gyroscope will also assist it in balancing while it's suspended in the air. The coils are to escape and force the aluminum